Zach, I think I'm cursed. Someone has cursed me.
Wow.
I know you are cursed. You
I
deserve it.
I really don't. I don't know what it is, but I've had Zach paint 3 head sculpts for me. One fell and got chip nose, so it needs to be touched up. And 2 of them, inexplicably, Kevin has gotten a hold of, and subsequently chewed and
Oh my god.
ruined them.
Kevin.
But we were
It's a waste of
fucking
time.
midstream. We were playing Baldur's Gate 3.
I knew exactly what it was when it happened.
Dude, I went back and watched like that moment, and you like called it immediately.
Yeah.
You were like, I think he broke something. But I'm like, I'm sitting, we're playing the game, we're paying attention to the game.
Yeah.
And I had like heard a noise, but I didn't really think anything of it. So I just keep playing the game. And something caught my eye. Kevin was doing something. I was like, Kevin, what are you doing? And I looked down and I see the figure I kick bashed on the floor. And I just immediately I was like, holy shit. Like, you hear me like freak out on stream.
Why do I do this for this man?
Dude, no one's more
idea.
upset than me, bro.
My ocarina is still fully intact. My cat has
Yeah.
not got it yet. Love to see
Is
it.
Ron Swanson okay?
Ron Swanson has a chip nose.
Oh my god! I'm
The
not painting
paint.
anything. I'm not painting anything for him ever. I'm gonna charge him
Wow.
double charge next time.
Is it the fact that you're cursed, or does Kevin have something against Zach? Has Kevin got it out for Zach?
I don't know, because Kevin stopped chewing stuff like a long time ago.
Wow.
Like, because like he used to like chew my glasses and stuff, and like he stopped doing any of that stuff like literally like a year ago. I haven't.
Has he been through any training or?
No, he just got older. It's not a puppy anymore, so he
Dog hasn't
doesn't
left that
chew
ground.
shit.
He hasn't done no training.
Jesus.
Oh,
Do you
You
put
know what,
He's hog
dude? I don't
wild.
fucking tell you how to raise your kids, okay?
You called my
know
kid dumb one time.
That's not what. No,
Wow.
Yes.
I didn't call her dumb.
Wow.
I said kids aren't smart.
My kid's a kid, so yeah, you did.
Yeah, well, yeah, I was like, you can't have an intelligent conversation with a kid. It's like, what do you talk to him about? That's not the same thing. That's not me saying your kid's dumb.
I don't know. My kid seems pretty
close.
smart. She doesn't shoot on any head sculpts, so
It's new this week.
god damn it.
What the
wrong-
hell?
wrong button.
Wow.
Oh,
Starting
wow.
off strong. Let's go.
Wow, there we go.
Are you an angel?
What?
An angel. I heard the deep space pilots talk about them. They're the most beautiful creatures in the universe.
Hello there. We are tonight's entertainment.
We would be honored if you would join us.
He's got a billion toys.
You brought in the doll collection.
These are not dolls, Jim. These are commodities. Same as gold or oil.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
You are now listening to the Collecting Weekly podcast.
This is the true form of floor gang right here. Very nice. YouTube.com/collectingweekly. Thank you very much. That's very cool. Big.
Hey guys, my name is Zach.
I'm Dean.
I'm Ben.
And I'm Eddie.
Welcome to this week's episode of Collecting Weekly. It's a weekly podcast where my friends and I talk about the things that matter the most to us this week in collecting.
That's right. We want to thank everybody out there who's watching us, catching us live, or on the replay, whether it's on SoundCloud, Spotify. Zach, you post us all over
Apple
the place.
Podcasts.
Yeah, I don't even know all the places.
Yeah, we don't talk about it a lot, but if you like the content, but you can't like dedicate 2 hours to sit in front of a screen, look us up wherever you listen to podcasts, and I'm 100% certain that we are on your podcast host of choice.
Yeah,
It's,
and also shout out Collector Zone
Yeah.
for our affiliate.
shout out to the people hate watching the show too. We love you guys. We have a great show planned for you guys tonight. We have so much stuff to talk about. It's actually kind of wild. And we have so many angels in the chat already. We got Toy Mafia, Sam Gist, Lane Kramer, Jam, Fortnite. Dean, you want to go ahead and read that in your Hulkmania voice?
What you gonna do when Collecting Weekly runs wild on you, brother? 12-inch Python's Hulkamania.
I don't know if I did Six Guns, Figs. Trevor, howdy everyone. Calvin, the low-key collector. Let's see here. We have Big Ol' Fern, Mark Pearson, Eddie Money Mendez, Sith Scale Collector. Darth Tamaris, howdy. Big Ol' Fern, Cram, Six Guns, Figs, Equan Dinzak's kids eat all the button off their. I think they were using like scissors to get them out, but it was really fucking annoying. And
well,
I don't even know how
there you
many.
go.
Well,
Wow.
podcasts are how I found you guys.
It's not
First
apples
in
and
the chat.
oranges, but they're both fruit.
Well, how the turntables have turned. Dean, we have a very special segment that we start off all the best shows with.
Yeah, you guys ready?
Yes.
It's new this week.
Yeah. I finally got in the mail. It just came out. The Nendroid Knuckles, classic Knuckles, to go with the Sonic and Tails that my sister got me. So she surprised me with this a few days ago. I was like, hell yeah! So now I have the three homies. So very cool.
It's funny because when you first showed this picture in the show sheet chat, by the way, I thought he was like had like huge jacked arms because of your reflection in the box. I was like, what the heck? And then now I'm seeing a bigger screen. That's
yeah,
awesome.
it's just me. Sorry.
Zach, I do have one question about this release of Dean's, though.
Yeah, sure.
What is it?
How does he keep getting away with this?
I don't know. I was gonna play the
setup.
clip. I don't know. I don't know how he keeps.
I tried.
Saying, Where's the
I
clip?
tried, guys.
Where's the
I
clip?
tried.
You can't keep getting away with it!
There's a lot of Sonic merch out there,
There is.
and I
much.
don't buy
much.
even half of it. So be glad.
That's too much.
I also got. I didn't take a picture of it because it's not that cool. But I keep a lot of figures on my desk. Zach, you know the way it is. You get a new figure, you put it.
Yeah, that's
on
why they get
display.
eaten. I do know the way it is.
How dare you? But my figures kept getting in the way of like my screens, and I would have to like if I wanted to open a window or close something, and I was like, I finally got so fucking sick of doing that. On Amazon, I bought like monitor risers.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so my monitor stood a little higher. I had to reset my camera, but it's nice because now I have my figures all displayed and it's cool.
Wow.
But yeah, that was my news this week. What about you guys?
Wonderful.
It's a cool news.
Marco is not here. I don't know where he's at. He's got tech issues, so we should have him tell us about his new device there. But Eddie, what did you get new this week?
I got my first ever Star Ace figure. Now, I don't feel like it counts because it's not a real figure and it's not a human being. So I feel like it has a little leeway on things like likeness and stuff that we give them shit for. But I got the, I don't even know what this guy's. Oh, yeah, I do. General Thad. Is it Thad?
Thaddeus. I thought it was
Thaddeus. It might be Thaddeus. From the 2001 Planet of the Apes film with Mark Wahlberg, which is
bro.
my
Shit goes
favorite
hard.
Planet of the Apes. Well, I guess arguably now the new trilogy is all my favorite, but that was like where my Planet of the Apes love started. So I've always looked at this figure and wanted it, and I've always eyed it on Sideshow, and it was 50% off a while ago, and so I picked it up. It's this with the horse. It normally goes for around like $480, I think, and I picked it up for $250 shipped or somewhere around there. So with the horse, pretty good deal. It is a power pose figure. It can only the arms swivel, the legs. Do the legs swivel? The head swivels and the arm swivels. I don't know if the legs do because I didn't know this. There's two versions: the one on the horse and the one off the horse. And I didn't realize if you get the one on the horse, he can only be put on the horse. His legs are
That's fucking
sculpted
weird.
that way. Yeah, so he has to be sitting on the horse. He can't stand up because of the way his legs are posed.
That
yeah,
seems kind of whack.
Yeah, it sucks, but at the same time, like I'll keep it on the horse. It's cool. And the horse is really heavy, by the way. I only have one other 1/6 scale horse, and that's the is it Z Toys, Zach? The one that
Mr. Z, I think.
And that it's a good weight, but this one feels like way more heavy. And I think the other one looks better too. Like this one, it looks fine, but the hair isn't as nice, and the eyes aren't painted as well as the other one. And then, so my other two pickups are actually thanks to Dean. When I picked up my Mark 50, Dean told me that Ami had the accessory pack for a super deal. I believe it was around $90. And then when I was checking out Ami, because I didn't know they had Hot Toys, I found the Iron Patriot from Iron Man 3, which was also $90. So I think I got them both for around, they were both 90, so 180, and then I think I paid like $40 shipping. So it was like $230 shipped, and that was with the slow shipping from Ami, so it took a couple months. But I'm very happy with them. I have the accessory pack. I started like switching things out last night and taking pictures, but I haven't used them all yet. And then on the Patriot, he was used, but he's in good condition. The joints are slightly loose, but I think it's normal for a die-cast Iron Man. I'm probably gonna leave him on with the waist grabber, but he can stand on its own. It's just I don't feel safe with a die-cast Iron Man like that, so I'm gonna keep the waist grabber there.
Yeah, you could find some fucking crazy good deals on Ami's used Hot Toys section. I think they had that DX Joker that was like super expensive back in the day.
Yeah,
I think he was only like $250. Like last. Like,
oh wow, I might have to see if that's there still.
They
That's
have
the
those
11,
InArts.
the one that comes with the table, probably.
I think it's whichever one Ben. Which one do you have?
The 11.
DX11.
Yeah, I think it's still on there.
I want that table.
What a deal.
Ben, sell me
Sold
your
it to you
table.
for $250.
You could just get a table anywhere, like on Amazon, like $10.
That's
for
true.
A 1/6 scale table.
That's true.
Well, don't tell him that. I almost got $250 out of him.
I'm not sure that's gonna join us. Everything good, Marco? Got the tech.
Yeah. It's a little tech difficulties, but we're here now.
This computer's filled with 100% pure nut.
Wow.
So tell us what you.
Every device I own.
Wait, did you get your new camera working?
I did, and that might have been part of the problem, but this is not the new camera.
Oh,
This
I
is
was
just the
like,
webcam.
wow.
I had to unplug, I had to reset. We're here now, though.
We're here now. We are not a cat. What did you get? You got a handheld of sorts.
Yeah, so this is oh my gosh, I don't remember the exact name, but there's a bunch of them on Amazon and all over the place. You see them on TikTok, on Instagram. I was very skeptical because it was around $60, but this thing is badass. It plays like up to PS1 games. You got all the definitely illegal because it's shipped with all the ROMs already on it.
Nice.
But yeah, it was like a pretty dope little device. So kind of this the translucent purple, kind of the Game Boys we had when we were kids, and yeah, just a badass little device that I'm pretty happy with. It's got a bunch of MAME arcade games as well. It's got like the Ninja Turtles arcade, X-Men 4-player arcade, so pretty powerful for a tiny little device and a nice screen.
That's awesome, man.
Fantastic.
Hercules up there for Eddie too. I see.
Yeah,
there you go.
Thank you.
Exactly. Had to.
So this was a PS1 Hercules, or what Hercules is this?
This is PS1 Hercules, which I never played. I don't think I did not even have the PS1, honestly. So
I played this for sure.
yeah, it's a cool. It's actually the graphics are pretty dope.
It looks
So yeah,
good.
this is one that I kind of want to play all the way through.
I remember I had like a really shitty Hercules game for like Windows 98 PC.
Yeah, I think I
dope.
played that too.
It was dope. It was like an obstacle course game. It was
Yeah.
pretty fun.
Damn, I've never heard of this.
Let's see here. I got two things new this week. So I picked up the Mezco Spider-Man Deluxe, which it's weird they call it a deluxe, but I think they only make it like in one version. And I really don't know how to feel about it. I think in some ways, I think it's a really cool figure. I think in a lot of ways, it's a really bad Spider-Man figure. and I think in some ways it's fun, and in a lot of ways it's kind of annoying.
Wow. High praise.
I've very conflicted on it. Like, it can't really hit a lot of Spider-Man poses that like most other figures can, because it has almost no ab crunch. It also, like, the way that the material bunches, it's not like Hot Toys where the material or like the whole suit is essentially the same thickness or very close in thickness. The red parts of the shoulder area, they're like a really thick, almost like a vinyl, and it bunches really bad. And I don't really know. Like, I know when I was talking to some of our friends, they said that they've had their Mezco Spider-Mans pose like really crazy for years, and I felt like I probably damaged a suit even just within an hour of posing. And like, I don't know if it's gonna heal itself or what, but yeah, it's, I don't know. I would say at the moment I'm like a 6 or 7 out of 10. I kind of want to buy a second one to display it with the unmasked portrait, because I think that's probably my favorite part of the figure. And I have $70
I hate this
credit
figure,
on BBTS.
but I'm
well,
gonna
no,
buy
because
a second one.
I have more than half credit on BBTS.
You should
that
teach
I
a
don't really know
financial
what to-
literacy course, Zach.
I should.
Zach, did I see correctly that it has a light up feature in the eyes?
Yeah.
Why?
It does. So one of the portraits does, not all of them. It's supposed to be like the spider sense effect. Like in the comics, I think they draw his eyes like with a bit of a glow in them at times. I don't know. It's weird. It's weird. And then on the right, so I mentioned on, I think it was the last After Dark, but downloading all these 3D files and doing a bunch of stuff like that's really been clogging up my streaming PC, and so I wanted to make another PC that I could focus just really for 3D printing. And I finally, after years of wanting to do it, I finally built my own PC. So I may have a video on this PC soon-ish. Don't really have a lot of advice to offer, but you know, I went in with like zero PC building experience, and I was able to build one. So there's some things that I learned that I would do differently, and some things that I think I did properly. So but yeah, it came out really good. My internet in the garage is not what it needs to be, so obviously we're gonna need to fix all that before we move everything into the that area for moving the collection there. But
Why?
it came out really good.
Why'd you get such a small monitor?
Well, you know, just doing 3D printing, so just need like a tiny little screen. To,
It looks huge to me, honestly. What is that
I think
about?
a lot of people would be happy with a 5-inch monitor.
Yeah,
honestly.
Yeah, it's actually pretty cool. It's actually not a monitor technically. Some of the complaints that I saw with the more expensive ones, since it is a true monitor, a lot of times people would get their mice stuck in it, and they would be like not able to find the mouse because it's in that tiny little screen.
Oh, literally in this screen.
Yeah, this one just hooks up through an internal USB header, so it gets all the data it needs and the power, and you actually only interact with it through an app, so you don't actually like mouse into it or anything like that. So
I'm gonna need you to play Doom on that though. Just do a proof of.
Hell yeah, dude.
I think it might be able to. But yeah, let's look into the news. I don't think Ben had a new this week. And we got 2 super chats from Abe Dunk. Can't wait for more GTA roleplay. It took me from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. to 5 a.m. the other day to get it to work, and I got it to work, but it was not particularly fun to do. And he said, I don't know what he was doing swimming in the ocean. Yeah, and he said he just got back from the gym. Sam says that it sounds like you don't like it. You just want to, and you want another one. I want another one so that I can pose one a little bit more freely. I'm kind of weird like that. I feel like I need to have one that I can just pose the shit out of and one that I can museum pose. Because right now I feel like I'm really scared to really pose just the one copy that I have. So, yeah, that's that. But let's get into the news. We have Hot Toys Han Solo. This one is $290, releasing January to June 2025, and I genuinely cannot believe that we are seeing this. If there was ever like a myth or a story that has been told in the community, it is that we don't collect Hot Toys. And if there was ever a second story or a second myth, it's that Han Solo does not approve of his license for Star Wars merchandise. And I don't know what the fuck happened, but we didn't get really anything for Return of the Jedi 40th. But we have a new Han Solo. He comes with the Endor gear. He comes with a little diorama, which I quite like. He comes with, in my opinion, the most exciting thing about this entire figure is the new hands that are posed in like dynamic, I guess, expression poses. If you've ever owned Hot Toys, most of them have the same hands. Like, you know, they might, like for flesh hands at least. And it's kind of annoying, but they have newly sculpted these hands and they look fantastic. Our friend Fern did a little bit of photo editing here, and I think the portrait looks fantastic. There are some in the community that do not agree, but I think overall, I think for a character that we basically thought we'd never see, it's always been like the meme, like, oh, there's Han Solo in the background of this figure, there's Han Solo in the background of this figure, and we never saw it, and we finally have it. And I don't think I would get this, but this is like probably the closest a figure's been in a long time to me like wanting to purchase one. I think if they do a Chewie, I think it's going to get a lot of people in trouble, because I think you need to have a Chewie if you have a Han. What do you think, Dean?
Yeah, I overall really like this. I have the New Hope Han, so I don't feel like I need to go out and get this. That being said, I think it's overall pretty fantastic. I think the hair could use some work. It's a little helmety, very big hair. But yeah, it's cool. The tailoring looks great. The colors look great. I think maybe in the trench coat could have a little more green in it, but that's, you know, kind of nitpicky. But yeah, I mean, like you said, we didn't think we would ever see Han again. The Bespin Han was teased a few years ago. I would have, you know, preferred that Han. I probably would have pre-ordered that one, but yeah, this is cool to see.
So I think both things can be true. Number one, incredibly hyped that Hot Toys is giving us another Han. A lot of people said it wouldn't happen. Like you said, people also say we don't collect Hot Toys. I think I'm only seeing 7 or 8 on screen right now, so that's probably all we have collectively. So incredibly hyped. This one's coming home, and I realize I've lost all my leverage now against Hot Toys, but fix the hair. I'm not a sculptor. I don't know what you would do, but somehow you got to thin this out. The silhouette has to be better. I've seen some videos where it looks a bit better, honestly, but there's just, they got to do some work on this. But overall, I think the sculpt is there. It looks fantastic, and very excited to get this one home.
Yeah, I saw the MRC preview video, and it gave me a lot more excitement for it. I'd already pre-ordered it at that point. Yeah, this is the one. Yeah, shout out to MRC for sure for getting his hands on it real quick there due to his location. And he does a great job filming it. I think for me, right from the get-go, I thought the Harrison Ford likeness was really strong. Like, I thought it looked just like Harrison Ford. It was the hairpiece that I kind of was like, what the hell? But I was also like waking up in the morning,
allegedly,
looking at my phone.
I don't think it was ever confirmed that he had herpes. All right, so
oh my God.
How you throw that around.
Hairpiece, you're good. You're good. Waking up in the morning, looking at this figure, going like, is this fake news? Like, what the hell? Actually, a Han Solo, right? It was kind of exciting that way. So, yeah, I don't have a Han Solo in my collection. I thought I was going to have to buy backwards in order to get one. I think for me, I won't display it necessarily with the trench coat on. I think it's got a bit more of a classic look, like classic Han look, I should say, without it. But the hands are really nice. I think if they would tweak the hair just a little bit, I think this is going to be one of the best figures I've seen in a while. I was really happy with this. So I have seen some criticism that the forehead wrinkles are a little extreme. Clearly, he just was getting a little older and those lines were showing. No Botox back then, maybe, for this guy. I can't judge. I've got just as bad of wrinkles. I could hold a credit card with my forehead. So don't worry about it, guys. I think it's going to look good in the collection. Wow. I think depending on the lighting in your display, yeah, it won't be something that stands out too dramatically. And even when we see the side-by-sides with the real actor himself, I think it looks okay. So yeah, I'm stoked. I can't wait to get this.
Ben, are there other parts of your body that you can hold a credit card with?
Yes.
Wow.
Oh my.
His hands?
Yeah, right. His hands. Eddie, what do you think about this?
I love this. I was same as Ben. Like, I was surprised to see this announced when I woke up in the morning. I was very excited because I've been holding out being an OT collector until they did a Han, and I thought that was going to leave me safe from all the OT stuff, but it did not. It backfired because they decided they were going to do it. So I'm excited and both like a little intimidated because now I'm like, okay, what OT stuff do I need to get?
Floodgates
to go
are
with
open.
This? Yeah, I'm not.
Don't go backwards though, because
Yeah,
this
you gotta,
means that
you gotta
they're gonna...
get Endor Leia, you gotta get Luke, you gotta get.
I don't know
maybe a
how
Wicket.
far back I'll go.
You could get,
maybe
you
with
could get
the
in
Endor
a lot
stuff.
Of trouble with this. Yeah,
I might go back for Luke and Leia for Endor, but I'm not gonna go back to like A New Hope or Empire
no,
or
that's
any of
too
that.
far.
They're gonna revisit though.
And a lot of, well, not a lot, but they did announce some Return of the Jedi figures that I'll probably end up picking all those up that are on order still. And then as far as like the nitpicks, I understand your guys' points. I don't feel as strongly about them. If I got it like this, I'd be over the moon.
Yeah.
If they want to take some of those into consideration and make it better, I'm all for that. But also, I don't need that. I think it looks amazing. So
That's a good point, Eddie, because I felt the same way. It's why I still clicked the pre-order button. Whereas later we're going to talk about a Star Trek figure I'm excited to talk about. And for that, they're telling us there's an upgrade coming and still asking for the money, which I'd never like that feeling. With this, at least they've kind of said this is what you get for now. We're just all hoping that they tweak it a bit. But if we get this way, I'm still happy. I'm excited for it.
I don't really understand the whole like analyzing the hair. There's been people that are like drawing outlines and like comparing these two, but I mean it is a film, and while they do try to have some semblance of continuity, scene to scene or take to take, like that is changing ever so slightly. And I think this is a good enough representation. I think one of the comments here that you know, his hair was getting fuller film to film, right? If you look at A New Hope versus Return of the Jedi, you know, he is changing in his look. So I think it looks fine. I think, you know, this certainly begs the question, are we going to get the Bespin Han? Are we going to get the Hoth Han?
Indiana Jones. And Indiana Jones.
All the above,
possibly.
honestly.
Yeah.
But Zach,
even a
you know what's
Deckard.
funny
Even
about...
a Deckard for you again, buddy. A reissue.
Oh,
Deckard.
that'd be sick.
Sorry to cut you off, Marco.
Wait, a Deckard?
Oh, no, you're good. You're good. I thought you were talking Star Trek there for a second.
No.
So,
Blade Runner.
Yeah, so it's funny, though, with those Facebook posts or the posts where people are criticizing every little detail, they are annoying, but at a certain point I can almost appreciate that they're trying to be constructive, because I could just come on here and say, like, fix the hair, but I don't know exactly what they can do. At least, you know, folks are taking an attempt, but it is like once you see like lines on a sculpt, you're like, damn, all right, you've gone very in the weeds and need to get some hose ASAP.
Dilo says, I love the figure. It's the first figure I've pre-ordered in years. # Return of the Dopo. Yeah, this is...
I pre-ordered too with Collector Zone, baby.
Hey, baby.
Oh, you went for two, damn.
No, I pre-ordered as well.
Oh, got it. Okay.
Jeez.
Okay.
Wow.
Got it.
I was like, damn, he's back. Nick's Collectibles, # fix black suit Toby. Yeah, I'm fighting the good fight with you there, Nick. I'll die on that hill. We also got the blogger photos for Valkyrie. This was interesting. They posted them, and then I think fairly quickly they deleted them, and then about 12 hours later they reposted them, and I don't know. I really don't love it. I think the sculpting on the hair is beautiful. I think that fine sculpting work on the braids looks fantastic, but I mean, those damn silicone arms got to be screaming. There's no way these things aren't tearing in a month or 2 months. And the portrait itself, I mean, Tessa Thompson, one of the most beautiful women in the world, and I'm just really not seeing it, to be honest. Maybe it's just me, but this looks very like third party to me. It doesn't look like a Hot Toys, in my opinion.
It's not Hot Toys' fault. It's just like her least exciting look of like all the movies we've seen her in. It's kind of a boring figure. Like it's like if she was in her like actual like Valkyrie uniform, that's a cool look. That'd be really sweet. But this is also from like a movie that wasn't well received, and it was like they were like, fuck it, I guess we'll make Valkyrie now because that's the one figure people have been asking for, and this movie kind of sucks, so let's just do it. And it's...
Why are you being nice to this movie? You have no problem shitting on other things, but to this terrible, terrible film, you're like, not well received, kind of shitty. Just tell it as it is.
Yeah, it's dog shit. So
there we go.
Yeah, I just feel like they were just kind of like, let's just get these figures out, you know, hope for the best, and I think it shows. It's just not. I mean, like look at the pants. Like those are so boring to look at. It's like with how busy her top is, and then just like black pleather pants is like I guess like the cape. There's no like cool design on the cape, like a Doctor Strange cape. It's like very ornate and like lots of textures on it. And again, it's maybe it's not Hot Toys' fault. It's just maybe that's just the character design, but like it's just boring. It's not exciting.
Yeah, I see Tessa Thompson in this though. Like it looks just like her. I'm gonna say this next one for 1/6 figure focus though, Shane. I'm gonna put her in the category of Ana de Armas, where she's so ugly that she's gorgeous. Like she has these really unique features. Dude? These really like unique features that add up to like a really gorgeous person.
One of the most beautiful
time out.
The fucking
I'm giving you a double negative point for the Ana de Armas.
Hey, give me all the negative points. It's fine. I'm going to stand by this take where they just have really odd features, but they come together to make just one gorgeous person. So maybe that's what we're seeing here because it looks just like her. But I agree that the costuming is boring. The film was absolutely terrible. So it just kind of all adds up to a not very exciting figure. But I like this character in the Thor Ragnarok. But
there's no way.
Yeah.
There's no way.
She just she's just got a round face. I'm telling you, it's just interesting characteristic.
Jesus Christ.
Listen to what I'm saying.
That might be the most wild.
Listen to the words that I'm saying. She's so ugly that she's gorgeous. Just listen to it. All right.
Look, if anyone is so ugly,
He's doubling down.
That's not Ana de Armas. How dare you? Let's put in the chat: Ana de Armas overrated or underrated? That was one of my
I'm not saying she's. I'm not saying she's overrated. I'm saying she's gorgeous. She's on my list. So is Tessa Thompson. They're just so ugly that they're gorgeous.
That makes no fucking sense, dude. Like, I don't know.
Get it or don't. Get it or don't.
Get it or don't.
All right. So in the chat, we'll have a poll. Ana de Armas so ugly she's gorgeous, or mommy. We'll see what you guys have to say.
No, you're not. You're misunderstanding what I'm saying though, because both of those are true. She's so ugly that she's gorgeous, and she is mommy. You're not understanding, but it's fine.
Yeah, I don't get it. How could someone be so ugly? They're beautiful. Like
drug test.
It's science. It's science, man. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to tell you.
And Cram says, "I'm scared for Gigi." Jesus Christ.
Oh my god.
Oh gosh. Anyways, who else has?
I don't know how I follow that up. God
wow,
damn.
there's 23% of the chat. It's so ugly, she's gorgeous. I'm surprised by that, to be honest.
Those are my people right there. Appreciate y'all.
Yeah, some honest in touch people with Marco. At first, when I saw these photos, I didn't like it. I thought it looked bad. I thought it looked like a downgrade from the proto, but pretty significant downgrade. Even like the Reva character who came out, her final looked amazing. I thought, especially with some of the final photos, these looked really unpolished. I thought that's maybe why they took the photos down, because they just weren't like showing how good this figure might look. I think the blogger photos aren't necessarily doing it justice. They're really bright. They're really overexposed. They're casting a lot of shine off the actress, or off the character, I should say, just on the skin. For me, I also, like, as much as I love joints, I don't love joints on figures. And that shoulder joint for me just kills it.
That was good.
It takes me out. It takes me out. But I also agree with you guys. This wasn't from a great movie. This didn't hit the nostalgia button that I normally ask for in order to spend, $300-400 Canadian on a figure to get it in the collection. Is she a badass actress? 1,000%. Is this going to be the only opportunity we have to get her in 6 scale? For now, yeah. So if you love the actress and you even like the movie, I still think it's a good buy. The more I've looked at these photos, the more I like it. But I still think it's a downgrade from the proto. So that was a little disappointing for me, but otherwise, I mean, heck yeah, at least we got her. At least we got something.
I hate this movie. I don't care for this character at all, but I will say that I think the Hot Toy looks good. And initially, to me, the only thing that looks off is that her head looks too big for her body sometimes. But I feel like that might just be angles or something. Because when I look at pictures, like maybe it's slightly too big, but even like she just has a smaller frame with a longer neck and a decently sized head. So, I think other than that, it looks pretty damn good, man. I might be persuaded to pick it up if it goes on sale later, just because like I don't like this movie. I don't really love the character, but I love Thor so much that I want a Valkyrie in the collection with the other Thor figures. I don't know why. I want that. But if it goes for a good enough price, maybe I'll get it. Also, I like the lightning bolt. It's cool. It reminds me of Zeus. So there's cool things about it.
There you go. We also got the blogger photos for Catwoman, and
Goddamn.
I don't know.
She's caked up.
She is. Got a lot of junk in the trunk. I really don't know how to feel about this. There's already a few people that pointed out that the suit looks like it's not removable in terms of the, for those that want to do like a body swap, the zipper is like a faux zipper. I've seen some people take the goggles off, and I think that the way that Hot Toys does the hair where it meets the forehead, I don't really like that. I think they use that sort of wig style that Dean always mentions, and I just don't think it works. I know, Marco, there was a screenshot that you had of some of the instructions that we'll talk about here in a second, but quite a few people have shared their 1.0s, and they believe that they look better. I'm really conflicted. I don't know what to feel about it. I think the big thing is they have to have made the suit more durable. I think really time will tell how good of a 2.0 this was, because there are many 1.0s that I've seen for sale where the suits are just peeling and flaking and cracking. So I think it's a bit too early to tell at the moment, but I think it looks okay. What do you think, Dean?
I'm so sick of talking about this fucking movie and these figures. I don't know enough about these movies to do these figures justice. Like comparing the 1.0 to the 2.0, like I couldn't say what they did better or not. You know what I mean? But just looking at it as an observer, I don't really see what's the actress's name?
Anne Hathaway.
Anne Hathaway's. I think like in some instances, like this picture you have up right now, it's okay. I could kind of see Anne Hathaway, but you had some up earlier that were a little closer, and I didn't see Anne Hathaway at all. And I was like, ooh, like I don't know how good the 1.0 one was, like I said, but like you said, like how good of a 2.0 is this really? I'm definitely not the guy to ask, but I don't like it just looking at it.
I didn't
disagree.
realize that. Hey. I caught it in time. Sorry, thanks, Ned.
That's fine. I was going to try to save you.
So look, someone mentioned in the chat, I hate the hair so much. I hate the line on the forehead, the hairline. I think that's ass. I don't like the likeness either. Some of the bunching on the suit doesn't look that good. The suit looks better than the previous release. I think it'll last longer. It might be a better material, at least from looking at it. I feel that way. I want this character in my collection. I don't want to pay $300 for it. So I'm going to wait until it goes on sale for like $150 and I'll pick it up. Okay, you're good, man.
You may speak now. So I've got this figure on order. I'm excited to get her. I love the Dark Knight films, easily one of my favorite trilogies of all time. I had the 1.0 and it flaked so freaking badly that I ended up selling it for about half of what I paid for it years ago. But now that the figure bodies and sizes are also getting bigger, I finally also committed to the Bane 2.0, kind of begrudgingly because I was really trying to avoid getting that one, but I ended up pulling the trigger on it. I also wanted her to see what the upgrades look like. I do think the suit material does look improved, even just from the visual aesthetic of it. So cross fingers, they've changed the material type slightly. I do think where you're going to see most failure still, if you see it, would be on the boots, which is annoying, but even still, that's easier to swap out than the whole suit if that eventually does have some degradation. So not the end of the world. I wanted to share that that website photo of Selena Kyle there with you, Zach, just because even in the film, I thought she looked like she had a wig on. Like, the hair is pretty extreme at the brow line. And so I don't think it actually looks that bad. I do see why people say it looks like Barbie hair. I think because of some of the sheen in it. But when you look at this, I think it looks like her. I'm not gonna lie, and I don't think I'll ever pull the mask off to see what she looks like.
Dude,
underneath.
look at that jawline,
So
bro.
I still see it.
Marco
I still see it
tonight.
I
still see it.
don't. My problem isn't the sheen of the hair. It's like the way that hair meets
it roots
head,
in?
like it grows out. But Hot Toys, it's like you have two different tucked in surfaces. It's just not.
Which
it's
is
not
why I
how
think people
hair
say
works.
Barbie hair, right?
Yeah, it's just not.
It looks like punched. It looks punched in.
Well, and the
No,
material
it doesn't
though.
look punched in.
The
It's
material
just, it's
looks
just like a
different.
wig.
It's like folded in.
Yeah, it's exactly.
folded
It's
in.
like two
I see.
folded in parts. Like it's
I see what
not.
you're saying.
When you look at InArt, like it doesn't have that. I think when Hot Toys has to understand and fix that, I think.
Do you
to
think
get
if
to
they
that
did
next
what?
level,
Do you think if they did what they did with that Anakin that had like the baby hairs in the front, though, that could have helped it even look better, just to kind of reel it up a little bit?
I think she does have those actually. From zoomed in shots, you can kind of see it there.
Okay.
oh,
yeah,
the
so
little
they
baby
were at
hairs.
least
Yeah,
attempted.
they definitely painted those in.
Painted them in. I don't know. I think it looks good. As I said, I've got it on order, but for me, it's also based on nostalgia, right? It's easier for me to say and be more critical of a Valkyrie that while I liked the character enough, I don't necessarily want to collect her, whereas I want to collect the Dark Knight lineup. I want to have her back in the collection. I did buy the Bat Bike, and I haven't even taken it out of the Bat Pod. I haven't even taken it out of the box yet to show it as a new this
The
week
bat
yet.
box.
I've just literally just got it out there because I'm excited to get her on it at some point when she eventually comes. So yeah, I heard you.
She's gonna come when she's on it, huh?
gonna
See,
come
the
when
funny
she's on
thing
it.
about Anne
Happens for
Hathaway. Yeah, the funny thing
Don't
about
say
Anne
it,
Hathaway is
Marco.
she's so. No, I'm joking. So this
Wow.
is one. No, another gorgeous woman. Anyways, so this is one that another company's gonna do, right? So I guess it's a point of if you need a premium version, if you're okay waiting, up to 5 years, if not more. But we do know InArt did a 1/6 scale statue, so they've already done the R&D for this. This character will come from their line eventually. But I just don't think this version is good enough, honestly, for all the reasons that you all listed. I love the Dark Knight trilogy as well, even though I'm not a huge fan of The Dark Knight Rises. Still a really good movie, but compared to The Dark Knight, a big step down. But yeah, this is one that's kind of an easy pass for me. And I think Hot Toys needs to... It's tough because I want them to give us multiple looks, but it seems like so many times when they're like, hey, you could take this part off, and now it looks like this, it looks shittier, right? Like the Wolverine we just got, when you take off his jacket, he looks a little too thin. Same thing happened with Cable. There's so many examples where it's like, maybe just stick to one style and do that really well instead of trying to give us multiple looks, which is tough to ask for. I get that.
I would say that it probably is a fair comparison, though. I think we're comparing like the two highest end companies, and one of these companies is doing hair really well. The other company is trying to get into like that higher end artisan hairstyling. So I think it's something Hot Toys needs to figure out, certainly before releasing the Joker and the Anakin, which I think the first time we saw them, they looked a bit rough, and then the second time they did look a little bit better. But
We get a lot with InArt that makes it 450 to 500. It's not just the rooted hair. So I don't know. Hot Toys is expensive enough at this point to where I think the rooted hair should be able to meet in that range that they charge now. So I see what you're saying, Sean, but at the same time, we're not asking for more accessories and more of this and that. We're just asking the hair to be better.
yeah.
Do you think they should eliminate doing this type of hair then, unless it's artisan? Like, if it's going to have this look,
100%.
then only
I think
be
it looks
then
very
only be artisan.
dollish.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree. But
fair.
yeah, we'll see. So Marco, this point here, what part of this did I guess it was just more so that it's not intended to be removed?
I guess, yeah, the goggles always need to stay on according to Hot Toys. So I guess that kind of challenges what type of looks you can get for her, right? Because, folks are taking it off and then we're seeing the pictures with it off and it looks terrible. So perhaps it wasn't intended that way, but it seems like it's easy enough to get it off that they probably should have planned accordingly. But according to the directions, leave it on and don't see that hideous face underneath.
Well, you're not even supposed to slide it up?
You can slide it up, but you can't take the full mask off and expose
okay.
that massive forehead.
That makes sense.
Very, very interesting. We also have the JND Joker. Let me go and grab, Bruce Wayne Type A and Type C, which kind of odd that they're missing a Type B. Let me pull up those photos here now. Now the Type A is priced at $829. The Type C rather is $1,799, and I think that JND. I really don't like the way that they're kind of showing us this stuff. I think it's Dean that always says, like, they're having this technology that is, supposed to really be the next level of figures, right? And then they're releasing a figure that has less neck than the first figure, the Joker. And while I think it's cool that, I guess you can pose that neck, it doesn't really do anything for this character. And I think, while not as sexy, I think leading with a character like Bane that is mostly like a figure that would either have a lot of joints or would have, that inferior Hot Toys material is really weird. And the way that they're coming at this, it almost doesn't even feel like this is really for 6-scale collectors, because the Batman, it's they're not really even calling it a figure. It's more a small statue, a power pose, if you will. And those haven't done particularly well for us as collectors at, a very budget, less than full Hot Toys price point, let alone, essentially adding, in addition to the armory, another almost $800. So again, this does look okay. I don't know that I love the portrait. The bat suit looks fine, but it is just a semi-static piece, and I don't really love it. And a lot of people, there were some photos, I'm trying to see if I can grab those quickly, but there were some photos of the Joker staring down this Bruce Wayne, and the way that silicone neck is articulating, it just looks silly. It doesn't really look or work like a real neck. And I really feel like they're just not doing well with how they're presenting this line to us, how they've chosen to price it, and the accessories and the way that they're choosing to release these. I really don't know who this is supposed to be for. And I'm wondering if you guys feel the same way in the chat and then on the panel.
Yeah, I think you pretty much nailed it when you said it might not be for 6-scale collectors. Maybe just for like super diehard Batman fans, or like statue collectors that want something a little smaller but still in the same fucking price point. I don't know. I have no idea. It's weird. It's cool that it's limited. I mean, 800, I want to say that's relatively small. Maybe I'm wrong. But yeah, with the you had a picture up of like all the stuff it comes with, and it's like a couple hands and then like the magnet for the eyes. And it's like half the pictures of them showing off this figure, his fucking hands are in his pockets. Show me the hands. What do the fucking hands do? If you're like showcasing the hands, why are they in his pockets? It's such a weird display of like you trying to sell this figure. And yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's hard for me to get excited about this movie products anyway, and it's just like they're just not doing a good job selling it to me, you know.
Do you guys have there was 3 photos in that set with the Joker staring down the Batman. If you guys have them, can you send them real quick so I can pull them up? Unless they're in this, which I don't believe they are. There's a look at you do get a little bust to display the Batman head, and then you also get those 2 different sets of arms and gloves. But I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this. What do you think, Eddie?
I think it's overpriced for what they give you. I don't see the value. I don't know how much, obviously, it costs to do silicone, but I don't feel that it costs as much as they're charging. And I don't feel that anybody in the community is excited for this. I think there was a little, even with how much we see Joker, I feel like people were a little more happy with what they saw. So I feel like that one did fine. I don't feel like anybody's like this at all. And I know that they're new to this, so they're trying to do the characters they love first, but I think it's a bad business decision. I think that they're not offering enough to sway anybody's mind from going from a hot toy or just waiting out InArt on their release. So I don't know what their plan is other than like, oh, people buy it or they don't. Like, and it's like, dude, okay, put all that R&D into this and then lose money.
Get it or don't.
Yeah. So I'm not excited for this at all. I'd rather get the hot toy release for the Dark Knight Rises armory. But how do you feel, Ben?
Bro, they could pose the eyes and they have Bruce Wayne not looking at the Joker.
Oh, that is great. I'm giving you a fucking point for that. Oh, that is. He's like, I'm trying not. That's dude. When you go out of a store and there's like the fucking crackhead that's just like, you're just like, I'm just not gonna make eye contact.
Can I have a dollar?
Yeah, exactly. Holy shit! It's like they're almost like purposefully not showing off the best parts of these figures. Like, I mean, come on, that
looks so silly. So
yeah,
goofy.
I don't. So, I told you guys a couple weeks ago. I pre-ordered the Type A Joker because in some of the promo pics, I thought it did look pretty good. These photos aren't helping my cause. I am feeling a little bit like I've gambled with my money a little bit. Not gonna lie, on the Joker side. I think the single figure civilian look with basically no accessories in a suit is, for the money that they're asking, is insulting most collectors. I think it doesn't make sense. Like, they haven't been able to justify the why, and so there's no what's in it for us. This is a character most of us already have. Like, recently, I think it was you, Marco, that got the suit version off of 1/6 kit, right? Like, literally just the suit that you could pair with another Bruce Wayne head. I've got the DX12 head in the box, and while it's not perfect, I put it on that suit that Marco's holding, and that's cost me what, $200? Like, if that.
I think it was like 120, and it came with the body.
A fraction of what they're asking for this unit. The other thing is that right now we have things to compare it to in terms of armory. So unless this is absolutely your favorite look for the armory, the Hot Toys one is around the corner from the Dark Knight Rises with the glassed-in look. I think that's still a great look. The figure, the Batman that comes with that set from Hot Toys, is not only articulated in an actual 1/6 scale figure, but the cost of even that is still less than the single Bruce Wayne figure that you get from JND. So once again, it's like insulting our intelligence. It's not even. It doesn't feel like good business, but it doesn't feel like they're even dialed into what we're looking for at this point. A power pose Batman in this particular pose isn't sexy. This isn't fun to look at. There's no element to that Batsuit that you're like, wow, it looks like somebody took it out of the box that's not totally sure how to pose it, and they kind of just stood it on the stand and called it a day. Even my Batman behind me, while the DX12 Batman, I would say, doesn't have the best articulation, let's be honest. We all know that. Even just being able to shift the body slightly, give it some body flex, some turn with his hands down at his sides, makes it look like he's in the pose to, like, jump Bane, right? In that sewer scene. Like, really fight, as opposed to this just looking so static and kind of boring. So that is just, it's mind-boggling that this is what they've chosen to give us at this point. I think even InArt, while InArt pushed the boundaries of how much collectors were willing to pay, I think also still gave us value in their releases. They also gave us communication. They gave us an outlet to be able to voice our complaints, concerns, criticisms, critiques, all of the things. Whereas so far, anyways, and maybe that'll change, so far JND doesn't seem all that receptive to criticism. It's kind of like Eddie said, they're taking the stance, it seems, of, well, buy it or don't. But like, once again, if you're trying to get your foot in the door with this market, then you've narrowed that footprint from that stance. And while I say that everybody, like people like us, we might not collect Ferraris, somebody out there collects Ferraris, and not because it's a practical car, but because they can say that they can, right? Those people are still few and far between. And in a tough economy like it is in Canada and in the States at the moment, we got to save our bucks. The last thing I want is to look at a figure and wonder what else I could spend my money on than that figure, because $2,000 plus, once it's all said and done, is shocking. Is shocking. I could go to Oxcon at least one more time for that. Not buy a single figure. It doesn't make sense. So as I said, I feel like, if anything, it's kind of just pissed people off and insulted collectors' intelligence. And I hope that most people don't decide to get this. And I don't normally try to influence people's decisions. It doesn't seem like a good choice. There's so many other options out there, and you'd still have money in the bank for other cool shit.
Wow. And Ben's our resident JND collector too.
Yeah, he's the he's the JND stan. So Ben, I want to agree with you on one point and then kind of challenge another point.
Totally.
Number one, so you kind of talked about the Ferrari, right, was what you said. And I see that kind of behavior in other industries that are like a lot broader than our 1/6 scale collecting community, which feels so small and boutique, right? I feel like in shoes, you see like Balenciaga, they're putting up stuff that looks like New Balance for $2,000. But because it's shoes, I feel like they got a broader range to choose from. There's more suckers out there. And then you see it with like handbags for women, right? Like Birkin and stuff like that. I don't know if the artistry is really that much better, but it's a name brand. So they really are trying to chase that line of thinking, right? But I just don't think it's going to work in here. I think that they're kind of getting laughed out of the room. Now we'll kind of see what their sales are looking
100%.
like, or how they continue to produce figures in the 1/6. That'll be telling if they're being successful. But, we were really hard on InArt when they first came on the scene. We're like, you're not controlling the message right. I feel like they've really corrected, and they really hit a sweet spot where it's like they're taking our feedback, they're making adjustments. Hopefully they can get things turned around a bit quicker, but they seem to be humming right now in terms of hitting a lot of things that collectors want.
Yeah.
And JND just seems the complete opposite direction.
Yeah.
So before I kind of tell my thoughts on the overall figure, I just want to say, like, in terms of the market right now, just hearing a lot and reading a lot about, in the US, it's actually a bull market, but the consumer sentiment is that things are down, but it's like things are pretty positive right now. Yeah, there's layoffs in certain industries, but it seems like the market overall is pretty strong, but people feel the other way. So that probably plays into how consumers are, purchasing things, especially luxury goods. For me, this is one that I was really curious about. Wanted a InArt Armory. Happy with the Dark Knight. I wanted a Dark Knight Armory. Happy with the Dark Knight Rises version that Hot Toys is going to give us. But I was like, if this comes out to be, good enough value, Ben, I would gamble like you, or this is one that I'd be like, okay, let's take the risk. But at over $2,000 shipped to me, there is just no way in hell I'm seeing the value here. Like, they just have really come up with a really weird product that just does not align with how much they're charging. And in fact, probably if it was $1,000 cheaper, even then we would probably scratch our heads like, what exactly, why is it that we need to pay this much for J&D? So if they would have said like, oh, it's like real metal, it's real concrete, all these things, they could have been selling points, but they've gone with the silicone that doesn't necessarily fit the character like you guys are talking about. So many negatives for this company and for this product overall that I'm concerned with their longevity in the 1/6 game overall. So
Yeah. And I would say, just to remain consistent, like, I think we all thought the power pose on the Hot Toys Armory was a bit odd, but I think we all at the end of the day realized it does make sense. Like, for this pose, for this outfit, it does make sense to make almost a statue, right? You wouldn't.
And at least it's
wanna
on
see
the Wayne and
joints.
not the Batman, right?
Exactly.
Who's a lot
and
less
that's,
dynamic.
That's what I'm trying to
Yes.
get to. I'd much rather have the Bruce Wayne in the power pose in the suit. Maybe swap out arms for the pocket pose, and have a fully articulated Batman to go with your fully articulated Joker.
And
so.
it's unique. There's no other figure in your collection that's got crossed arms like this. Like, that's a unique sculpting. Whereas the Batman with JND, where his arms are literally just down at his sides, anybody who's a 6-scale collector might be like, oh, like, have you ever tried to pose it like this and then realize that they can't? It's like, that's mind-boggling. It's mind-boggling. It doesn't look purposeful pose.
There we go.
I think
Completely agree.
I think they're trying to sell exclusivity. Like the whole 800 limited thing is like the selling point. It's not necessarily like even the contents of what you're buying. It's only 800 people are going to have this. So cough up the $1,700 or $800 or whatever.
Maybe trying to get some of their statue collectors into 1/6 scale, right? They can offer this. I mean, for us, $829 and $17.99 seems like a lot of money, but for statue collectors, I don't know if that is a lot of money. The chance to get something like this, which might be too large to display in 3rd scale or 1/4 scale, might just be the right size in 6 scale. And those people that collect statues, the common sentiment, John would always tell us, like, I like statues because they look great. I don't have to worry about posing it. It's sort of, the decisions have been made as far as what that display is going to look like. And I guess I'm wondering if that's the market that they're really trying to go for. But
How would this look next to your statues, though? Like,
That's the
even
thing,
if you're doing
people that want a statue have their statue
Versions
already.
of that
They
statue,
have
yeah.
JND did this in 1/3 already.
yeah,
I don't think. That's what I'm saying. I don't. It feels like they're not even doing research because it feels like this caters to no one.
yeah, exactly. And like you guys mentioned wonderfully, it's like, this isn't the company that's taking feedback, right? That they have a historical, sort of buy it or not, but we're not going to change the way that we're doing it. And I don't know that that's really going to bode particularly well. We joked last week that, InArt's not watching our show. Sure enough, they commented, sent us a message, said, hey, we love the show last week. And we're able to answer some questions for us regarding some questions that we brought up during the show and then as well privately. So, yeah, I don't feel very excited for this line, but we'll see what happens. Speaking of InArt did update the 2019 Joker, so the one that we just saw last week. Many thanks for the support from all collectors. Taking into account your comments and product features, we have optimized and modified the InArt Joker 1/6 scale figure. The costume will have optimization at the collar of the red suit and other costume details. The base will have a new standard base for the hospital scene. One thing also a lot of people are perhaps getting their words twisted, and I've seen this sort of rumor popping up on the groups where they believe the 4-pack only comes with 3 pairs of shoes. It comes with 4 pairs of shoes in 3 styles. So there's one style that's repeated twice. So I've seen a bunch of people say that they are like demanding that InArt throw in that 4th pair of shoes so they can display all the figures at once, but that is absolutely not the case from what I've seen. So there is that update. It's very minor, but we do also have some updates from John. So John had mentioned on Will Fox Vacation stream that he wasn't quite sure what this was, that he had basically just found out about it right before their stream, and he took our question and answered it as, the accessory is a bonus for customers in China that have accumulated points from purchases on our domestic store. It looks like collectors that didn't order from the store are interested in these as well, and we're looking looking into ways to make these available more widely. I did also have a question, because it seemed like a lot of people that have had issues with their figures either being broken, arriving with hands that were like, not the full set of hands, or things that were missing. At the moment, the current process, it seems, is like, I got my Gandalf from TNS. So I would contact TNS. TNS would contact InArt. InArt would then send the part to TNS, and then TNS would send the part to me. And when I was talking to John a bit, he was curious how Sideshow handles it, right? Because I would never think to message Hot Toys and say, hey, this part broke, right? My mindset is always contact Sideshow, the distributor. And so in a way that aligns with that thinking, right? But the main difference is TNS, it seems, doesn't have a supply of figures from which to pull parts from. So they're waiting on InArt, and it seems to be taking a little bit longer than normal. So John said, at the moment, if there are any damages, we encourage collectors to contact their retailers. Our company works with retailers around the world of various sizes. One retailer is Sideshow. When we work with Sideshow's damages and report to them as a seller, and then we will arrange replacements from their stocks or contact us to arrange replacements. If the customer ordered directly from our stores, they could contact us directly. We can check their order history and then verify the order. This has long been our policy and is written in our store. Licensing wouldn't change the situation, and we work closely with partners to support repairs and replacements. Based on the suggestions that I gave them, they're going to look into making replacements more readily available to retailers. So it seems like they're going to potentially have some sort of stock that they can pull from to take parts out of to have these replacements done much quicker. He did say that they have been shipping replacements, but it is much slower than people are expecting. When I have a figure that's broken, I can go to Sideshow and probably within a week I have that figure complete again, and it's just not that quick. So they are aware of the concern and the sort of the community, how we're perceiving it, and they are working to fix it. So shout out to John for getting these questions answered. And do you guys have anything to say about any of this?
I mean, other than that was a little bit confusing, I'm glad that more information is coming up now. At least people know what's going to go on. So I think that's good. It's a cool piece, for sure. And I think if it ends up being kind of a rare piece out there, I think that's makes it more of a chase, right? Just like a churro.
Sideshow exclusive or something.
Yeah, like you guys mentioned the churro, I think last week. Like that's crazy how many people went wild just to get that in their collection. And it's not even the craziest piece. Like this is much more interesting to look at least.
Yeah, there you go. Let's move on. Topo has teased a Batman Drifter. I think this is the look, personally, that, I know some people were making the Bruce Wayne customs with the sort of the funeral look, but to me, I think this outfit would be really sick. I think the only thing that a bit worrisome is the Drifter bike. No one's made that yet, so I don't know that I would buy this without a bike available, because by the time at the end of the film he gets the one that Hot Toys made, you never really see this Drifter outfit on that bike. So
how different is the bike though? Is it just the front end with kind of the bat symbol?
It looks completely different, at least from the McFarlane version. I don't think it's just a tacked on front piece, but I know nothing about motorcycles. As Dean would tell you, I just know about scooters.
How dare you?
I think the suit is, or the seat is brown as well on that bike.
Yeah, one is like an old school, like,
yeah, it's like a cafe
I don't want to say
racer.
like a old school, like, I would say like a Harley style, and then the other one seems like, I don't know. Now this I don't know anything about, so I will say don't take my word for it. Let's see here. This is exciting for Ben. Exo 6 Neelix 225. With $25 shipping, releasing Q3 2024. Tell me about it, Ben.
So the funny thing is that it's not super exciting. I love seeing Star Trek figures pop up, for sure. The prototype of this figure I thought looked really good. Most folks who have watched my show know 100% that I don't think that the Star Trek Voyager line is very strong, especially within Exo 6. I actually think it's kind of got like their C team. Like it doesn't, none of them are all that great. The Janeway, specifically the captain, was really bad in my opinion. I know some folks still like her. I just had a hard time even with the photos they've shared with me. Neelix here I thought was going to be kind of the shining light in the Voyager lineup, or the poster display, if you want to do it that way. And then they showed us this, and it's not a good expression. Doesn't look super good. Doesn't really even look like Ethan Phillips in the makeup, unfortunately. I think that the hair is a little on the high side. One of the benefits of this particular pre-order window was that Anthony from 6 Scale Mafia is the one that actually took the photos. So at least they're color graded the same. At least they're a little bit clearer, a little crispier. We can actually see what we're getting. But it's almost to this figure's detriment because it's not super strong. Now, immediately after this was posted today, we got an official update that said that this is still not the final sculpt, and that they're still working on the final. And yet we're still wanting, of course, people to pay the money to pre-order it anyways, despite us knowing that it may or may not change. Now, from my experience so far with Exo 6, I've seen that most of the time the proto is kind of what we get with the final, for better or for worse. Like sometimes they're pretty good and they turn out pretty good, and the ones that look a little rough end up looking about the same as what was solicited. So if they're saying that they're still baking this in the oven, they either realized that people were going to be upset by it, or they're just trying to get the pre-order numbers up for them. I'm not totally sure which it is. It's speculation, but Neelix, while being an important character to Voyager, is kind of like the Jar Jar Binks of Voyager for Star Trek or Star Wars collectors and for Star Trek collectors. Like, he's a silly character. His first season isn't so good. He ends up becoming more of a pinnacle member of the crew as the show goes along, but even still isn't totally a favorite from most of us. And so I think people may still just decide to skip on this, even if they've collected the rest of the Voyager line. Now, at the price point they're still asking, I also think it's a little on the high side. I don't think I shared a picture of the hands very well with this one, Zach, earlier. I apologize. But even the hands look like they've got blue dots, like freckling. You can see there, it looks like somebody's taken a pen and literally dotted pen on the hand sculpts themselves. Not only are most of the reference photos that I can find of Neelix having brown dots on his hand, they also look a lot more like age spotting, similar to what you see on the head sculpt. Where this figure, I think, does well is the paint job, at least on the sculpt, is good. I like seeing the different colorations on the side of his head. All those things are really good. And the outfit on the figure is pretty strong. But yeah, here, as you can see, look quite a bit more brown in terms of his spotting, and just isn't strong enough. This Exo6 has given us kind of a rooted figure so far with the Krug from Search for Spock. I think this would have been one that would have benefited from their level of rooting, just to make even the hair on the chops and on the head look even a little bit more natural. So disappointed, unfortunately, with this one, but there is a light at the end of the tunnel, because if they're still tweaking it, maybe we'll see some improvements to the criticism.
There we go. Thank you, Ben. And you also have a video on your channel if you guys want to check out more in-depth thoughts and chat with the fellow Trek collectors. So be sure to check that out at the Ben Thomas Show.
Thanks, buddy.
Let's see here. We have an update from Iconic Studios. I know, Marco, you were, I think you were a bit miffed recently, and so we finally have
Just
an update.
shipped this morning, baby.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah.
So Iconic says we have an update on the delivery status of some of our 1/6 scale figures. Shipping for Muhammad Ali, the single and the double packs, and both Silent Hill figures are underway. For those who bought them from a retailer, their stock is currently on the way to them. For those who ordered directly from us, shipping is now starting, and you should receive a tracking number in the next few days. Excuse me. Thank you for your patience and continued support. Invoices for those were sent earlier than usual to give everyone a chance to pay over the holidays, and fulfillment took a little longer because of the rush before Chinese New Year. We can't wait to get these to you, and we hope that you will agree they have been worth the wait. Once they arrive, please continue to tag us in any photos and videos. We love seeing them out there. So you got yours direct from Iconic, correct?
I did, and they actually ran a really cool program because I got the Ryu directly from them, and they
Sure.
gave me a discount to use on a future order. So it was kind of a no-brainer to roll that over to get the Muhammad Ali.
Very cool. And did you get the single pack or the double pack?
I got the double pack, so went with the most deluxe version because it's just such a unique figure. Honestly, like this is the type of stuff I want so much more of, these sports icons. So I felt like this is one that I absolutely needed to support.
There you go. We look forward to seeing your thoughts on this, and yeah, I'm excited. I love me some Muhammad Ali. Anyone have anything to comment on this? If not, we'll keep trying.
I'm still stoked on those Silent Hill figures. I think those look pretty cool too, to be honest.
Would you consider either one, Ben?
I would, honestly. I would. I think his name's Pyramid Head. I love that character from the first film. He's badass. He's super intimidating in the movie. I don't remember him as much from Silent Hill 2, to be honest. He stands out more to me in the first film, but it would be a cool figure. And definitely, if you have a horror collection set up, he'd be top of the list, 100%. He's cool.
Yeah, he's not really an antagonist in the second game, but he kind of stalks you. He's like
Nemesis.
He's like kind of like that, but he's like a mirror image of your character in Silent Hill. So you're it's a whole bunch of subtext, but in the first movie, oh my God, he's so fucking cool in the first movie. If they did his design from the first movie, I would have bought it.
Have we done that as a movie of the week? Because that's kind of a low key, underrated film.
I think.
It's a banger movie. Yeah. Oh, no, is Eddie scared? Or you don't like it?
I've never seen it, but I'm not the biggest horror guy. So.
Oh, it's almost not even horror. It's just it's weird. But
Well, for the Trek collectors too, the actress, the main kind of baddie in the first film is also the Borg Queen in First Contact. So, just saying, that's worth the watch just there.
You just killed my
Always
interest
had
to go back.
Trek reference.
I was like, why are we talking about Star Trek right now?
Don't worry about it.
Sure, if you're using 16 Kit and you're ordering your Joker, to use code 10CW10CW to get $10 off your InArt Joker pre-order at 16kit.com. And, did I move that slide? Be sure to also, damn, I think I deleted that slide. Hang on one second. If you want to make any pre-orders on Collector's Zone, be sure to check them out as well. They do wonderful. Damn, I really put that way far down. Hang on one second. That's gonna bother me for the rest of the night. Here we go. Boom. 15% off in-stock items and full pay pre-orders with code CW. They're one of the best customer services in the biz. They got StatueCon coming up soon. Everyone's got a con these days. And they are doing a lot of cool stuff within the community. They support a lot of us.
What a hater.
No, that's like the
felt a little hate-ish.
No, the MCU where he's like everybody's got a gimmick. That's the Falcon line. How dare you, Eddie? Yeah, be sure to check them out, and they do some good stuff with the community. Let's see here. So this is cool. So if you guys remember, a few months ago, I was really trying to track this Pokemon card down. It's the Vincent Van Gogh Pikachu promo card. They had to actually take it out of the museum because they were it was like a dangerous how dare all of you guys, I can't make a joke. They had to take the promo out of people were literally like rioting in the museum. I mean, they were trampling the employees. It was a dangerous all around danger to the society. And you know, obviously they have priceless artwork in the museum, and people were fucking just acting like animals. So they moved it online only. That got quickly taken advantage of. I don't know why the fuck that they did it the way they did it. They said it was never coming back, and I guess the outrage has been such that they have officially said they're bringing it back, and they're trying to mitigate scalping as much as possible, which limiting it to 5 promos per customer is absolutely not how you mitigate scalping, because that's how things get scalped. And they're also going to be doing that very soon. So very excited for this. I own one. It's one of my favorite Pokemon cards that I own. The value on these graded 10, which is like the highest grade you can get, is astronomical. It's way too high. So if these go down, I think that's overall a net positive for the trading card community. And definitely looking forward to maybe picking up one more of these, and that way Vivi can have one. Marco, this was something that you wanted to talk about, the potential. Some of these games might be coming to PS5. So we have the Indiana Jones and the Great Circle and Starfield. So tell us about this.
Yes, this really started because Dean was pretty distraught that he's not able to play Starfield on his PS5. And he's been talking about it for a while, like, I kind of want to go buy an Xbox just to play Starfield.
He might be the biggest Starfield fan that I know.
For someone who's never played it, I think so.
My blood pressure.
So yeah, this is kind of a wild one. I think this has been speculated on for a bit now, because there were a few announcements that didn't say Xbox exclusive. Specifically that Blade game that was announced. And since Xbox acquired Bethesda, which used to be kind of cross-platform, the initial plan was to lock it behind just the Xbox. So that's what happened with Starfield. Kind of a bummer for someone who's a PS5 player mostly. I was considering going to buy an Xbox, maybe just for Indiana Jones because it looked incredible. But some pretty credible outlets like The Verge and Xbox Era, very credible outlets, are reporting that looks like Microsoft might be pivoting. They might be putting, a lot more of their games, including Gears of War, including Halo, including Indiana Jones on
Halo would be a
PlayStation.
fucking. I mean, what's the point of getting a console anymore, right? If there's no console exclusives.
I think that might be the thing, is Xbox might realize that, you know, their console space might not be where they want it to be behind Nintendo and Sony. And so they're like, okay, we're going with Game Pass, we're going with software, we're going with cloud streaming. So that seems to be the future. They did announce that they're going to do a presentation next week. So maybe we'll have a bit more clarity on this, but pretty exciting, because I honestly considered buying a PS5 just like Dean, or excuse me, an Xbox just like Dean for Starfield. So the fact that it may be coming to PlayStation, that's a huge win for everyone, I think.
Are you trolling when it comes to Starfield, or are you being serious?
No, actually, Dean sent me a message the other day. He's like, "Hey, I know we have a lot of Baldur's Gate to play, but I think for our next campaign we should play Star." And
I don't believe you. I know Dean well in his heart.
Ben, in fact, he said, you know, Elden Ring is not shit compared to Starfield, and I was like, whoa, take it easy.
Okay, I'll put up with a lot. I'll put up with a lot of stuff. But you will not disparage Elden Ring that way.
Is what I heard. His voice is not mine.
So so while I agree, Marco, that it's nice, I'm happy that I'll be able to try Indiana Jones, at least for sure, if it comes to the PS5 without having to buy a whole other system. It actually diminishes my faith in the quality of these games that they're making them available. It's kind of like when you get a day and date release in theater with a film on the same day that they release it on streaming. It's just, to me, like an indication that they don't actually have a whole lot of faith in this game with the current platform that they're releasing it on.
Yeah,
and so in order to actually make sure they make back their investment, they're like, actually, no, never mind. We'll let everybody have a crack at it instead. It actually diminishes my faith in this release.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying. I just want to like put an analogy out there. It almost would be like a really great film that's like locked behind Peacock. Like not many people are watching Peacock, right? I know Eddie's watching Ted
So
on
I
there.
felt
But
having to buy Braveheart today.
I watched Braveheart on Peacock. What the hell?
Exactly, it was locked behind Peacock.
So might not speak necessarily to the quality of the game or the film, but the platform is how I take it. But I see what you're saying.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, I can't wait to play Starfield with Dean. It'll be so fun.
Hell yeah!
It's not multiplayer. I don't know.
Oh, is it really not? I know nothing about Starfield.
That was a pretty big L, honestly.
God, that is a really big L. My God. So Dean, apparently we have Sonic 3 coming December 2024, and they've posted some teasers. Are you excited about that?
Yeah, they posted a teaser. We were expecting something soon, and sure enough, it dropped a little. It's literally just this with some like audio, and then you hear Eggman laughing. It is the return of Jim Carrey.
Thank God, bro.
Because he had announced that he was
retiring. Yeah.
And so everyone thought that, you know, he was done with movies, but apparently he really loves playing Eggman, and he's coming back for this movie. Confirmed it is his laugh in the trailer or the teaser. Everyone thought it was Shadow because he's going to be in the movie, obviously. But we still don't know who Shadow is being played by. There's rumors it's Hayden Christensen. But
I thought that was confirmed.
If it's been confirmed, I have not seen that yet. But yeah, so I'm super, super excited. I think I was more excited that Jim Carrey was coming back. So
here's hopes that we'll get a Sonic hot toy. That would be
so
freaking
cool,
awesome.
dude. I mean,
the memes from Marco and Ben that you would get from that.
Yeah,
dude,
right?
Amazing.
Yeah, I mean, that's what 4 characters they could do.
Hell yeah, dude. Oh, because there's a rumor too that like they cast the girl from Breaking Bad and Jessica Jones, right?
Oh yeah,
right.
And it's rumored that she's gonna play one of the girl characters. I don't know the character's name.
Oh, Amy or Rouge.
Yeah, Rouge. And Rouge is one of your favorites, right?
I always see
Rouge
Cream at all the Walmarts. Cream's always in the aisle. She's the only one left.
Cream's a little sweetheart, but
yeah. Cream on the mind.
Where are you shopping, bro?
Okay, she's a child. Calm down. But Rouge is a big titty bat, so that's always cool.
Sam Gist in the chat right now put up a really interesting thread. I thought it'd be fun for us to just kind of go down the line and answer this quickly. If you could have any 2 releases, 2.0s, who would they be? Mine are Beetlejuice and Edward Scissorhands. For me, I would love for them to make a 2.0 of the Terminator Police Shootout. I love that figure. I think it could do with a little bit of modernization. I think a real leather jacket would be fantastic. I would be over the moon for that. I think my second figure, I could do with another Jack Sparrow. I think the first one I think was always unobtainable. I think it just always was crazy expensive. The more recently released DX, I owned it, but kind of always felt like I'd rather have like the OG Jack Sparrow design, though they are very similar. So those would be mine. Dean, I'm curious what your 2.0s would be.
A New Hope Farm Boy Luke. I've never really been sold on the likeness of the sculpts, so I think a New Hope Luke would be great. And the another 2.0, I don't know. There's so many that I was thinking. I'm like, oh, they've already technically done one. I was gonna say Chewbacca. They did do a New Hope Chewbacca. They did do the episode 7 one, which was fucking horrendous. So I don't know if you would really consider that a 2.0.
The beast name, bro.
Yeah, the Parvo.
Yeah, the
Parvo Chewbacca.
Jesus.
Oh, that's
why
a
would they
deep
make
cut,
a dog
dude.
with Parvo figure?
Yeah.
That's like at least episode 40.
And as good as the first one is, maybe a new Alec Guinness Obi-Wan.
Ooh, interesting.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, that's a good one.
What about you, Ben?
I do. Tremble Dust just put one in the chat of mine. Harley Quinn. I would love to see again.
Ooh, that's an expensive figure.
Yeah, it is for sure. The Farm Boy Luke is a good call out as well, Dean. Another 2.0. I don't know. There's a lot of pretty good figures right now. It's not a 2.0, but I was watching The Mummy the other night in bed, and I would love a Brendan Fraser, from the movie. What the heck is his name now?
What is
Rick?
What is with that?
Yeah, Rick something.
Right. Look, I Rick O'Connell. I love
Rick
O'Connell.
Yes. O'Connell.
I love
He's
O'Connell
awesome in
Mummy.
that. He's awesome in that.
I have
movie.
always loved the Mummy, but I don't know why no one wanted a Mummy Rick O'Connell for as long as I've been collecting. All of a sudden, everyone fucking wants them.
Oh really?
There's a
customs.
post. Yeah. There's customs that are coming up, like people doing very expensive runs, and I want to say it was So Toys that had a poll, and on the poll was that figure, and it was so random to me. Yeah, I'd buy it. Don't get me wrong, but
I mean, Brendan Fraser has made a pretty big return in his career, though, as well, right? And I think if you think of all the iconic Brendan Fraser roles, that is still easily one of his badass movies.
In the 90s, yeah.
He was.
Bro, have we done the Mummy for Movie of the Week?
I don't think so.
I think we have, but I actually may be down to pick that as my movie. That movie's fucking tough.
Yeah,
I love that movie.
Dude, that was like the movie of the 90s. Like those fucking Beatles, bro.
Oh, and
that was
another
like our Velociraptor as kids.
My other reissue, I just thought of it, was Neo as well from the first film. I think they could definitely update that film figure.
Good one.
What about you?
I was just about to give you shit for not answering the question, but you totally redeemed yourself.
That's because I forgot.
Wow.
I had to do the first half.
Too much weed.
Off the cuff, I answered this immediately and said Terminator 2. Terminator, like, I would love to see that redone, mostly because I don't want the third parties really that came out, and I'd rather just see Hot Toys or InArt do that. But yeah, 2.0.
Just give us a DX13 with leather and we're good, yeah?
Yeah, there you go. And then the second choice, which is hilarious still to me, but Alien Big Chap, I would love to see redone, maybe with better materials than they did the first time. Maybe they could do it a little better. And I love Alien. We have a ton of Predator figures and not many Alien figures, so
That's true.
Yeah, those are two great choices, Eddie. I will say that Batman Returns 2-pack, the one that comes with Bruce Wayne, I think that's such a beautiful set. Like, I've thought about wanting to chase that one. So I think with Mars Toys just recently releasing their Bruce Wayne, it makes total sense for Hot Toys to kind of do a 2.0 upgrade of that entire set.
There you go, Sam. Love the question there, and yeah, if you guys have any more, comment them below. Abe says a Collecting Weekly sculpture. Love that. 6 Gun Figs, T2 Terminator, and Dutch from Predator.
That's a good pick.
Pablo Meza, Tarkin, Arnold Commando. Yeah, these are, God damn it, Eddie, Heath Ledger Joker.
Delo's Encino Man. I can see it.
Encino Man
I'll
would be
take I'll
sick.
take an Encino Man.
Yeah, or Pauly Shore.
Yep. Oh my.
Much
Now,
on some
I was-
grinded.
Cheddar.
We were talking with Eddie the other day, and he was like, let's go through the coming soon and see what's in there, see what's in the graveyard, as I call it, because I genuinely cannot believe this is a thing. Now there are some figures that never even hit the coming soon, right? Like the I think Poe Dameron may have been on there a while, but I think he's like in the Netherlands. You can't even find him anymore. Same with Shazam, right? On April Fools, no less. Those fucking bastards. And so let's look at the coming soon page on Sideshow Collectibles. I'm going to. What's the best way to do this? Let's see. We'll just go one by one, and you guys stop me when you want. We have the Mandalorian and Grogu's 6-scale figure set by Hot Toys, which I guess is not the N1 itself. I think that's the next item on the list.
Isn't that the
half
chrome
a
one?
Mandalorian? It's half a Mandalorian.
Yeah,
so you can
wouldn't
stick
that
his
be the?
body in.
Yeah, that's what I would have thought. Chrome one.
I think the difference might be that this one is sort of like, I don't know. Well, okay, so this is the N1 6-scale figure accessory set. I almost thought that this was supposed to be like a pre-posed version. Let's see. What does it say?
Oh, maybe.
It's in the
I thought he
coming
just
soon.
skipped. I thought he was just like, okay, and moved on. Like, I don't know what it
I
is.
gotta go fuck myself then. Well,
this one might
they're
be
marketing it
cleaner,
as
too.
Book in the Book of Boba Fett. Yeah.
Book in the Boba Fett.
Book in the Boba Fett. Take it to the.
Wow.
Take it
So
to
are
the
we saying
graveyard.
whether we think these are going to happen or not?
I don't know. We have to come up with 20 more minutes of airtime. So that's what we're doing. All right, Pit Droid and B.
Wait, Mario's biggest advocate that the N1 is coming. We gotta remember that when we see the N1.
He said he was
Mario's
gonna shave
sure.
his beard. I think is what he said.
Yeah, dude. I heard he was gonna lose his virginity when the
Bro,
N1 came.
Holy
Jesus
shit.
Christ.
So is this just the set without the R4?
It seems that way. Yeah. This to me seems very unlikely because we already got the 3-pack set.
Yeah. R4's right there in the background.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't put it past Hot Toys, but that would be
got
a
a bad
really boneheaded
motivator.
move to be like, yeah, the shittier version of the set we already put out.
You're not wrong.
Dude, the
Maybe
Black
if it was
Series-
JND, but
Jesus Christ, the Black Series R5 is really nice. The Spider-Man black and gold suit quarter scale figure, I think this is a 0% chance. It's like a
quarter
boring
scale.
suit in the movie, and I don't know that anyone would want this suit. The inside out.
not really screen
upgrade
accurate
suit.
either.
No, not really.
And the 6-scale figure didn't even do well, so
Yeah,
Yeah.
Abe's
no
on the
shot.
treadmill.
No
You
shot
love it.
this happens.
no shot. Yeah, I agree. Let's see here. We have the Batcave computer diorama. I would say this is greater than 0 probability. I think this
doing
could
this.
maybe be a thing.
I still hope we get
Yeah.
this.
I
Yeah.
hope. I don't know how sure I am that they will, but I do hope.
Collections are built on hope, Eddie.
There you go.
Although I did get the
Yeah.
Batman with the gargoyle,
Especially
so
my
like
collection.
I don't know if I'll need the computer system and the gargoyle, but I guess I could give the gargoyle to somebody else, like Spider-Man or something. So.
You'll need it.
Or Daredevil if I
We
can get
never
a
need
Daredevil at
these
some point.
DX
There we go.
spaces. None of us need those things. It's okay.
Now the
we
next
can
few are
throw 'em
quarter
away.
scale, but this is the quarter scale integrated suit.
I could see that happening.
I could see it, but it's like the suit immediately gets changed. So I don't know.
I think quarter
And-
scale
and
should be retired, but I'm not a quarter scale collector.
No, that's the suit he wears for the rest of the movie.
Yeah, but by the end of the film, he has a new suit. That's what I'm saying. Like it's not
Yeah.
like
Oh,
like
you're
the
not
upgrade
wrong.
suit that carries, or the Iron Spider.
And the 6 scales in the bargain bin the same as the other one. So yeah, I don't see this happening.
Wow, 10% off with.
Wow. The Mark II quarter scale, I could see them doing this.
I think
Yeah,
this is gonna happen.
happening.
Yeah. Especially
How
the
much
red
they
chrome one.
fucking need to milk Iron Man? This is definitely.
Yep.
Yeah. I think you're right. They would give it that chrome upgrade.
I might
look-
get that
it
one
look
too
crazy.
if they did that. I might.
Here, let's skip upgrades.
It's part of the problem, Eddie. Hate to see it.
Yeah, I'm bored of
Jesus.
talking The Hawkeye. This was teased in the what's her name? Hawk Girl set. I don't know what the fuck.
Kate
her name
Bishop.
is.
Bishop.
She's also
Kate
Hawk.
Girl.
There we go.
It's not Hawk Guy and Hawk Girls.
What's his name? Hawkman. Oh, Hawkeye. Oh, okay. Well, he's got
This
two eyes, right?
This would be a
Only one of them is a
well-deserved
Hawkeye.
figure. I feel like they need to do this because we don't have we have the Infinity War one, but it's not the closer to the OG look. So I feel like we need this still.
I think he's coming back though. I think he just said he wants to come back as
wants to come
Hawkeye.
back.
So
Although
maybe they do another.
I think they're gonna do a whole Avengers 1 line again. So I'd rather have that though. I think that's gonna happen.
I've always said this. I never watched these shows, so I have no fucking clue.
That's
who
true.
these are.
This
one
series
wasn't
was
bad.
kind of it was like it's a
like
fun
that.
Christmas one too.
I
Except for
don't
the
give a
Kingpin
damn.
shit at the end. That was
Oh
horrible.
shit! Yeah, they fucked it up really bad.
I can't stand
Just
Jeremy
like
Renner,
Echo.
so
But the
I haven't
mac
seen
and
Echo
cheese
yet.
scene with Florence Pugh, man, I still love Florence
I might have to
Pugh.
go back and watch that actually.
Speaking of Florence Pugh, no, I'm kidding.
Wow.
Miles Morales purple rain suit. I'm giving this 12%.
Poses better than your Mezco figure. Look at that.
That's not, I pose better than the Mezco figure. You kidding me?
This
I'm
was
giving this 12%.
it's a cool colorway. I don't think it's coming, but it's a cool colorway.
This is from now 2 games removed. I think no chance. Like I think that it was in the new game, right? So I guess they could repurpose it and call this Spider-Man 2, but
There we go. Let's see here. God, they really should make this easier to navigate. Baron Zemo from Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I would say this to me would be like 65%.
What?
Wow.
Wow.
If he's in
That's some faith.
if he's in Captain America, maybe the new movie.
he's not in Thunderbolts, right? I think is the new.
Oh, he is going to be in Thunderbolts, I think.
We
I
got
thought they
Collector
said they
Joey
may have
and
removed
Zeo in
his
the
stuff though.
Oh,
That's
I
just me
didn't hear that.
speculating. I thought I heard that.
I feel like this would have been easy enough for them to make it, especially since it's a mask sculpt like that. I think if they haven't done it already, we're not going to get it.
This is a bummer though, because this is actually like a pretty sick.
There was a
pretty sick
third
look.
party of this figure, though, I think that was floating around at one point. I could be
cornrows.
wrong, but I think so.
Grogu's 6-scale figure on the stone with the little
I want that egg. jar.
frog eggs.
Oh, cute!
the
Look at him on the
Super
on little bowl there. Cute.
I want the little Joey, too.
Yeah, how did they not do this one? This is kind of shocking
This
that
would've
they
been a
never
banger.
actually did this.
Maybe
Because
a
we already
light-up
have
feature.
86 Grogus. Nobody needs another Grogu.
Yeah, but it's like baby,
Well, it's 87
baby
though,
Groot,
right?
Like every figure comes with a different version. I think they're leaving money on the table with that. And it has the frog eggs, which is like the most iconic episode to me. The Navarro Imperial Safe House diorama, 0% chance.
I want this one real bad.
This needs to
I
happen.
do too, but there's 0% chance.
This was something cool from from Hot Toys that was innovative and new, and I feel like it should happen, but I don't know.
Although I have seen that Jazz Inc. is doing a bit more of like the diorama display pieces again occasionally, so keep an eye out for those. I think they even have like I want to say it's a Death Star hallway right now available for pre-order, and that looks pretty cool.
What?
That went back up.
Wait, it went back up? I didn't know.
Or I
that.
don't know, maybe it came down already. It was like I think 2 weeks ago that I saw it, a couple weeks ago. It's pretty
It's an
cool
old
looking.
release.
There was an old one, then they did the new one.
Wow.
Are you fake news, fan?
I don't think so.
Microcon.
Let me know if I'm wrong.
Nightwing. I've never heard of that.
You've never heard of the
Yeah, this
Nightwing?
one- No. What you're talking about?
Oh,
Because they don't usually go back. and
LA
pull it
Comic
things.
Con?
I'm gonna pull it up.
They did LA Comic Con
42.5%.
figures? That was a thing in the past?
Yeah, Nightwing,
Damn.
baby.
I
I'm
wish
giving
they'd
this
do
one 12.5%. Is my rating.
that. This is a negative 10, I think.
Negative 10. Okay, from Arkham Knights. I can tell you guys are thrilled by this discussion. This is
I
not
like this discussion. It's just the
lot
figures
to go
so
through.
far.
Okay, I'm not gonna expand every photo. The Snowtrooper.
Pick one.
Snowtrooper.
Nay.
0%, like negative 100. Like
Yeah.
there's no fucking way. They still have the Stormtroopers from this Force Awakens, probably.
Yeah, not gonna happen.
You're not wrong. Oh, shit.
Jedi Starfighter.
Negative.
I would say
No chance.
The tiniest sliver of like 5%, but that's about it.
Wow.
Only because I think where Yost will struggle, and I think some people are already kind of I don't know that he's had a workaround yet, but the R2 in the little cockpit I think is one advantage that Hot Toys has, that they can include that. I don't think that I think it's just the arms maybe, and I think the dome you have to provide yourself, something like that. R419.
I don't know what the R419.
There we go. Battletroid. This is what is from Battlefront or from Geonosis? Let's see.
I feel like we'll
It's the
definitely see a
normal-
battle droid. Yeah, that's
No, this
gotta
one,
be.
is this a shadow or is that the paint on his armor?
That's Shadow.
Oh, okay.
It's just the regular beige battle droid.
It's a clean shadow.
Yeah, that's definitely probably
that's
like
100%.
He'll do that for sure.
The clone trooper, the Kenobi trooper, that's gotta be pretty high. If we've gotten so many 501st, right?
Yeah, because they already did Cody and did they do the airborne? They didn't do the airborne.
No.
Just
They
to
did
save
Jesse.
a bunch of time. Team suit, Captain America. Team suit,
0%.
War Machine, 0%. I don't think those sold particularly well. We already did Mark II quarter scale.
You
Kit
think they would?
Fisto.
You think they would sell better if they did more of the characters in the team suit?
Maybe.
I think that's probably what held them back, and I think yeah, certainly, I think so. Kit Fisto, I think that's got to be like above 70%.
Yeah.
I don't see that happening at all.
Ooh.
Let's see. Oh wow, look at that. So what? So this is a
Damn.
current thing.
That's sweet.
Sorry, my mouse keeps dying. Yeah, it looks like it's pretty current at this point. So, and this is in Jazz Inc. They've got a bunch of other things as well up right now, like different types of displays and stuff.
I didn't know
in
that.
stock extension kit through the Millennium Falcon cargo.
What
old,
the hell? Maybe they found old stock that they.
A couple of different things. Like, look at all the in stock
Falcon
stuff right
cockpit? God damn.
now. Yeah, Ray's stuff. BVS
Ben,
Computer Lab.
I have one thing to say to you, Ben.
A man can only admit when he was wrong and ask forgiveness.
My bad.
Wow.
Man.
Kind of wish you hadn't said anything because I desperately want a lot of these. So
Here we go.
Fair enough.
Let's go back here. Spider-Man Velocity Suit. This one I'm kind of shocked because Marvel Legends did release one, and it was one of I think only like 2 or 3 Spider-Man suits they made from that game. But I would say at this point, this is SDC 2019. I would say 0%. This is
only 1 or 2 suits that Hot Toys didn't do from the game. So kind of shocking that we
Jesus
never
Christ,
got it.
Yeah, they did make quite a few from that game, didn't they? The Spider-Man light up function. This is like I believe it's a power pose. I believe they said it's a figure, but I don't think it is. At least at the booth, it wasn't. This is from STCC 2019. I would say 0% chance as well. I think the further we're getting back, it's we're going back in time. Some Captain Marvel stuff and the Quantum Time Travel Machine. I'd say 0%. But yeah, that's the coming soon on Sideshow page. I remember having more things. I just sorted it just by Hot Toys. Is there any other manufacturers? We got Exo, the Command Chair, Bones, Kirk, Spock.
Sorry, did you say any of those, Zach? Would any of those that page you would get? Like for me, the get it or don't on that page would definitely be still the back computer if I was going to choose.
Yeah, sure. If we had to pick, yeah. Hono with Thor and Magneto.
Thor, we need Thor.
Yeah, Sideshow has some other stuff.
That's a good hit.
So. Yeah, I can't believe we got Han Solo though.
Yeah, that's honestly wild.
Did we skip Get It or Not?
Oh, we did. Yeah, my slides were all over the place today.
They must have taken off a few of those because I swear like Poe Dameron used to be on that.
Yeah,
unless
he
he never was
Graveyard
on.
now. Yeah, he's gone, bro.
So there's a whole
Yeah.
Anyways,
I actually like Poe too. You hate to see it.
bro, same. He's Latino. I would definitely instantly get a Poe Dameron figure.
Just because he's Latin?
Yes.
Yeah, that's it.
I respect
No, because he was a good character, just kind of wasted in a lot of the films.
And he's a
And
collector
then
himself, the actor, Oscar Isaac. He collects 6-scale himself. Give the man a figure.
There we go.
I don't know about that. Does every actor that collects deserve a figure? I don't know.
Yes,
You
I
got a
think so.
Moon Knight-
If they
you
support
got a
it.
Moon Knight with no sculpt though.
Yeah.
It was such a disservice.
Heck yeah.
But that also could be him.
And an
right?
Apocalypse in X-Men. Not a great
Yeah,
film.
but
Never
that
got an
also-
Apocalypse.
That also could be the actor, though, right?
I would get that.
Maybe.
100%.
Okay, maybe it could be. But I feel like if
movie
you
of the
collect
week.
6, there's no way you're going to kibosh a cool toy, but in my opinion, or cool collectible.
William Wallace is the medieval Scottish patriot who has spurred into revolt against the English. I just realized he also does the Patriot.
Yeah,
he's
and
also
that
in
is a
revolt
good.
Anyways,
it is literally the same thing.
when
That
the
also
love
has
of
a
his
good
life-
knee or leg removal scene.
It does. When the love of his life
you
is
hate to
slaughtered,
see it.
leading his army into battles that become a war, his advance into England threatens King Edward I's throne before he is captured and executed, but not before becoming a symbol for free Scotland. I watched this movie once many years ago, and it's been a very long time, and I watched it again today, and I gotta say, this movie's fucking dope. The fight scenes reminded me of that classic, like, gritty Game of Thrones, like, Battle of the Bastards style fights, like,
Yeah.
cleaving arms, fucking... War back then was fucking brutal, bro. Like, when the fight's over and everyone's just fucking crawling and dying, like... It's a pretty fucking wild movie. I didn't realize that Office line, the prima nocta, came from this. I thought that was kind of silly when that happened, and I was like, oh, hey, that's what Michael Scott said. But yeah, this is a pretty good movie. I mean, I think anytime you can take historical stuff and make it into, a fairly entertaining movie. I think they did take some liberties with some things. I think it's really interesting, and I started reading into some of the history pre and post the stories in this movie, and it's kind of crazy. Like, after all this bloodshed and all this fighting to become independent, a few hundred years later, they kind of reunited with England. So just a weird footnote to that story, but yeah, this is an interesting movie. A few memes that come from this film, the hold meme. Well, I see all the Hot Toys collectors posts, so it's good to kind of get the context for that meme. And yeah, it's certainly a long film, though it's not one of those that I could say like, oh, if you cut this, it would be a better movie, because I really feel like it is a very complex story. Going from basically a no one to essentially being knighted and leading this revolution. I mean, it's definitely an interesting story. So yeah, I enjoyed it. I can see why a lot of our peers have customs of this character. See a lot of the ones with the blue face paint, some real high-end customs that look really nice. And I don't know that I would go that far, but yeah, it's a good movie. It has a nice tale. Obviously, just awful things happen to him at the end of the movie, and yeah, it's if anything, I would say the movie is significantly less graphic than the real stuff that happened to the guys. So like significantly. And, yeah, it's a good Eddie. It's a good pick, man. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I remember my dad was obsessed with this movie when it came out, and we would watch it all the time. So I'm kind of with you, Zach. It's been a long time since I watched this movie. I always love this scene, although it's horrific, when the love of his life gets her throat slit, and then he comes riding in and just fucks everybody up.
Bro,
like
everybody
unabashed, just brutal, just like nothing is stopping him from killing everybody there. And he gets the guy the exact same way. Incredible. And then, at the very end scene when what happens to him, and he looks to the crowd and he sees her again. That's really sweet.
Beautiful. I was gonna mention that, but yeah, beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, as cool as this movie is, it's incredibly fucking sad and depressing, and it's what I know I say this all the time. People always give me shit, but like, it might be one of the greatest movies ever made. Like, it's fucking awesome. Like you said, the scale of like the battles and like the cinematography and how gritty and fucking brutal it all is, it's amazing.
One of my
it's
favorite scenes is when they're shooting the arrows, and then like the
Oh.
first volley hits,
Amazing.
and then they start bending over, and then one guy gets shot in the ass.
Yeah.
Fucking funny to me.
Yeah. I did watch. I don't know if you guys have seen it. It's called The Outlaw King with Chris Pine.
That's what my buddy Chris was telling me. I need to watch it next.
Yeah,
after
it
this.
takes place almost. I want to say like immediately after,
Yeah.
and it's also very fucking good. I would not put it in the same category as Braveheart, but it is a very good movie. It is on Netflix. I believe it was a Netflix movie, like for Netflix. So, yeah, check that one out too. Very, very good. But yeah, Braveheart, incredible.
Yeah, so this is an incredibly long freaking movie, though. For a movie of the week, I found it hard to commit to. I actually broke this in half. I watched the first half a couple days ago, and the second half today. I love this film. This is a great movie for sure. It definitely makes me cry every single time. The rage that builds up for me when his partner or his wife, I guess, gets killed. And like you said, Dean, he just slaughters all those dudes. It's a heart-wrenching moment. I think that, like you said, the scale is really impressive to watch, considering it's a film from 1995. Like, this is going back a pretty long time ago. And to this day, the film holds up. I think that's really impressive. Mel Gibson is a badass, especially back then. You gotta give the guy credit. He's a cool action hero to watch. You definitely root for this character. The emotion in his face when everything happens is really, really well done. It's something that I would want a 6-scale collectible of. I think that would be really cool. Now, in terms of historical accuracy, definitely not super historically accurate. I think for the most part, it's more of a popcorn film for sure. I think even like down to his kilt, I think the actual real William Wallace didn't even wear the kilt. I think that was more for the film itself. And so like there are details that like if you're going to watch it for the historical accuracy, I don't think you'll enjoy it as much as if you know the story, I guess. But that's not to take away from the fact that it's an awesome movie. So, but definitely a sad one, definitely a long one, hard to watch for sure. I felt a little bit emotionally drained after I saw it for sure.
Yeah. There's certainly a lot of, I guess like idealization in this movie. Like, I had to read the wiki, and it's like, you know, he was alleged to have committed like pretty heinous war crimes, and that's kind of why he was put to the death that he had. And you know, even the nickname Braveheart, there was some sources that were saying it was actually a different person that had that nickname, and that's why in the opening scene it's Braveheart in quotes. But Eddie, you picked this movie. What do you think about it?
Well, first of all, apparently I didn't pay attention in history class because I have no idea who the fuck William Wallace is. And everybody's like, oh, the history of this guy is like, okay, all right.
Wow.
I didn't
We
know.
would not have learned about him, Eddie. You're not. Yeah. You're fine.
We even cared about Scotland. I just learned about Scotland the other day.
Wow. So this choice was because I was on the Hope Show with Shane, and he does his snap game where you pick one or the other to snap away forever, and it was between this and Gladiator. And I was like, I've never seen Braveheart.
Gladiator's
And they, obviously Shane being Irish and Ian being Scottish, like Ian wasn't on the show that day, but he gave me shit in the chat, and so they were like, you need to watch Braveheart. And I was like, oh, that might be a good choice. Had no idea it was 3 hours, so I am sorry, Ben. I probably wouldn't have chose it for that reason either, but I did love it. I thought it was amazing, and I think I can safely say that I actually think I'd snap away Gladiator and pick Braveheart. It's just
same.
It's more Braveheart's more of what I like. It's more like the Scottish and the Irish are kind of like similar to Vikings. They're like cousins of the Vikings, you know, and they're like, it reminds me of that. And dude, hilarious too. The Irishman is my favorite character. I don't know if his name, if he had like an actual name. I just remember they called him the Irish. So, and he was crazy. And the scene that I thought Zach was gonna say is when because his whole thing is like he speaks to God because he's insane, and he's like when the arrows fall down, and he's like, I just spoke to God, and he said I'll be fine, but he said you're fucked.
That shit was hilarious.
I was dying, dude. And then the second scene that I saw that was hilarious that other people use as GIFs and videos in their streams is when he's like, who is this person who speaks to me as if though I asked for his advice? That was a hilarious quote, dude, from the king, the Jackass King. But I love the movie a lot. I thought, dude, it was sad. Because I'd never seen it before and I don't know William Wallace's story. When he was being tortured, this is a spoiler too, so 5 minutes if you don't see this is a spoiler, but when he was being tortured, I kept waiting for Hamish and the Irish guy to like save him. I was like, oh, okay, so they're gonna like, he's gonna get saved right now. They're in the crowd, like something's gonna happen, and that never happens. And I'm like, damn, that freaking sucks. Although because of all the shit that happens to him, I guess you can kind of tell where his story is headed. Like it feels like he's not gonna get the life he's looking for. But
Yeah.
I loved it, man. And a lot of actors from Troy, which I thought was cool. Like his uncle and his best friend are brothers in Troy. And then his best friend's dad, Hamish's dad, is the general in Troy for the city of Troy. So that was cool to see. I like all those actors.
Troy, that unlocks a core memory. I haven't seen that movie in, man, like
I
20
love
plus
that movie.
years.
Another epic film.
Yeah.
I just got to say, though, we're not going to disrespect Gladiator, okay? Let's not talk about snapping away Gladiator.
Thank you, Marco. Thank you.
Yeah, that was uncalled for sure.
Foolishness.
But no,
was
anytime you're going back to 95, I think for like epics like this, I kind of fear like, okay, is it going to hold up? And it definitely did hold up, honestly, especially given the length you guys talked about. But it really hits all those notes, the emotion, all the action scenes. Like it kind of really does have everything you would want. And I do feel like it's one of those rare films that deserves that running length that really we can put in the same category, like you said, of Troy, of Gladiator, that really is an epic that deserves your time from start to finish. So yeah, good choice, Eddie.
All right. So our next movie of the week is the fans' choice, is Starship Troopers. And then Dean and I will announce our picks next episode. So be sure to tune in for that. What a film the fans have chosen. Dean, let's say thank you to the Patreonies that keep the show going.
The Patreonies, we love them so much. This is where we say thank you. Sorry.
You got to do that every show now.
No, not every show. I'll give a quick shout out to Ian CV, Renee Mendez, Eric Mariscal, Quinn Aguirre, King Louis, Mark Pearson, Paul Schreiber, Equan, Chris Val and Serena, Ben Thomas, Chris Letty, David Jones, Sam Giz, Daminator, Joao Bretta, Thomas Clark, Eric Switzer, Six Skins, Figs, Billy Badfish, Toy Cartel, Sweet Danny Lee, Deanie Martin, Stephen Krepp, Big Ol' Fern, Caesar Marquin, Mark Phillips, Elisa Martin Bomonsky, Rick DeGregorio, Ricardo Valdez, Jose CZ, Erwin Azucena, the illustrious Rainer, Alad Morgan, Tu Cothry, Wah, Derek B, Aries Portillo, Alvin J, Aurelis Delgado, Jazz Carroll, Joe Ridley, Pablo Meza, D-Rock, Matt Clevenger, Seth Tucker, CC, 3PO, Scott Smith, Don Madon, Stephen Purchett, Sean Usby, Scott Bradley, Steve and Maria Stanley, Eddie Manzanares, Louis Bennett, Chip Perrin, Jimmy Hernandez, Gigi the Judgmental, and Brenton Palmer.
Wow. February Patreon benefits, we have the Mark Pearson Collector of the Year sticker and the Baldur's Gate 3 Mind Flayers web sticker. So I'm coming off of a cold, and I'm just struggling right now. Patreon starts at $5 a month for the digital hot seat tier, $7.50 for the Sweet Angel sticker tier. We have tiers at $15 and $25 that offer different benefits for figure fix assistance and Pog Deluxe sets. Taking a look at our YouTube channel members, we have Absolute Irwin, Alvin J, Andrew Giebel, Benjamin Hansen, Big Ol' Fern, Bob Dylan, CC3PO, Chris V, CT603, DJ, Daminator, Doc Smizzle, Equan, Fat Batman, Gear Bear, Good Old Sponchka, Gotham Cenobites, Justice Sports Cards, LV Avenger 702, Mark Pearson, Mike Clitoris, Money Mendez, OG Fan, OMFG Rick, 1-6 Figure Focus, Paul Schreiber, Philip the Fool, S-Beam, Sam Giss, Scarnlord, SpongeBob SquareBalls, Sunnyvale Russ, The Ben Thomas Show, and Toy Mafia. Membership starts at 99 cents if you're a Patreon member, or $2.99 if you are in the Peanut Gallery. We do also have TeePublic if you want to support us there. And looking at the network, we have OFAC this Thursday, question of the week on Sundays. I think Brenton's question has hit the minds of a lot of people because we had quite a few responses on that. After Dark tomorrow at 10:30. Mind Flayer's Web. I believe we're going to try to play Saturday, and we'll confirm that probably Saturday morning. And you're listening to CW Live. Do we have any shout-outs that we want to give?
I just want to give a shout-out to us. Our Baldur's Gate 3 stream was so fun. I've watched it start to finish almost 3 times.
Wow.
I lived it and I've watched it. It's so fun. The shenanigans we get into is really fun to watch. So if you like Baldur's Gate or want to just watch something fun, go watch that one. It's great.
There you go. Sam says, another good show, boys. I know you're trying to pull something out of your ass, but I like the Coming Soon segment. Yeah, I think Marco's right. I think they have taken a lot because I remember it used to be quite a lot in there. But yeah, Sam was in the Baldur's Gate stream, and yeah, we had our biggest combat I've ever seen. It was like 27 almost combatants in a combat. It was fucking
yeah.
Damn. That's pretty crazy. Shout out to Shane from 16 Focus. I think a lot of us share similar audiences, but if any of you guys out there listening right now, either live or on the replay, have not subbed over to him, I think he's 20 subscribers away from the big 3K. And he does a lot of work. He puts the time in, puts the effort into his videos. I think it's worth it. So, give the man a sub. If you're not supporting him, it took me 800 subscribers before I subscribed to him, but still we'll always be each other's 800. So shout out to Shane. And hopefully he gets there this week.
We dropped his link there in the comments if you want to subscribe there. Anyone else have anything they want to shout out?
Let's Get Nuts will be back this Sunday. We were going to have a smaller show, but I know it's Super Bowl Sunday, but anybody who's maybe not a Super Bowl fan or wants something to watch after the fact, it will be back. We had a really great turnout last week and lots of people asking. We've had some members send in some questions as well, so we'll do a couple member questions on the show on Sunday as well. So make sure you tune in to the replay if you're watching the football or do both at the same time. Come say hello and get a little nutty with us over on the Ben Thomas Show.
You know what you should do, Ben? You should make a graphic, but instead of football Super Bowl, it should be you smoking weed Super Bowl. That would be...
I thought you were going to say throw in a nut, not a football, but
yeah, I was going to say Super Nut.
I think,
just call it the Super Nut Show.
The Super Nut Show.
The Super Nut halftime show.
Wow. That's right.
I really quickly do want to, Ben, awesome to see that you're continuing to grow the audience and more people are getting to get nuts. So yeah, awesome to see. And then I do want to give a shout out to Kit really quick. Eddie called me out for not explaining in the video I did with Gigi very well what happened, but basically I ordered a Logan sculpt from eBay and then talked to some members in the CW community. They said, maybe you won't get exactly what you ordered, but Kit's got the same sculpt. He's got everything you need to make a Logan figure. So I ordered the sculpt plus everything else from Kit as well. Now it all arrived on the same day. So I opened everything up, put it on the table, and I swore to just on my life that the sculpt I picked up first was from Kit. And I looked at it like, what the fuck is this? And but the paint apps were decent. And so so I sent him a message like, hey, I just want to confirm you don't carry this product at all, right? Like I may have mixed these sculpts up. And he was just like, yeah, no, we don't carry that for sure. But I might also be blacklisted from his site now for trying to scam him. So,
oh my God.
But no, shout out to him for getting back to
Rightfully
me.
so.
Exactly.
Rightfully so. Yeah. Well, we love you guys.
Edie.
And yeah, I'm Zach.
I'm Dean.
I'm Marco.
I'm Ben.
And I'm Eddie.
We'll catch you guys on the next episode. Thanks for watching, everybody.
See you guys.
Bye.